family, our collective consciousness as Kutis, it beggars belief, you know. Sometimes we internalize it, the violence that we've experienced, the oppression that we've personally experienced, the injustices. Sometimes you just want to like, you know. People talk about Fela, you know, what Fela went through. It's what our family went through. My dad was the famous Uncle Beko, had his hospital burned down that same day. They broke his arm and his leg, you know, through our grandmother. She's not Fela's mother alone. She had other kids, you know. They were traumatized by that.
At the end of a life, the voice of the land remains. It takes form, fire of Ogun, water of Oshun. It is the scar of a warrior's sigh after battle is won. The mist of blood, the force of souls snatched from home. The taste of liquid iron. My father's father left me gifts. Red sun, red earth, and these eyes I see with. They took the body of my mother. They set me on fire. Rain, rage, thunder.
We just all wanted to go back to Kalakuta to have a good time. Kalakuta was a big party. I would even jump my school fence to go to Kalakuta to play. We just all loved going to Kalakuta. There was a branch of his organization, the Young African Pioneers, which had the printing press. It was supposed to be the revolutionary side of the music. And he had a newspaper printing things against the government. They had all this ideology, they had all these books that they had put into the library, and they were very well read, all of them. These boys were going into town sharing this newspaper. This was causing a lot of anxiety in government. During Festac, when all these artists came from all over Africa and the world for this big event, my father said he wouldn't participate because they were not following the program that the festival was about. The festival wasn't about music and dance. It was about the colloquium, which was a guide to all African governments on how they should make Africa great. They were not going to implement this, and they did not want to be part. When Stevie Wonder and everybody arrived, they all wanted to go towards Fela's shrine. So they all left the music village and they were at the shrine every night. You could say the shrine was really what the first act was about, and the government got very angry.
I grew up every day, cops used to come and raid our house, you know. Just come in front of our house and shoot up the place, you know, run in the house. That happened every day till my dad died. Kalakuta was crazy, man.
I could die for you. Die for you.
As we all knew my father, I never took those kind of things seriously. Just waved it off.
I could die for you.
And then he released the album Zombie. Everybody knew this album was going to be big trouble. Everybody sensed it. So the government was just waiting for any excuse to descend on him. There was an issue with one of the boys and the soldiers, and Fela protected him. The soldiers wanted him to deliver the boy to them, and he said no. They had no authority to take the boy, and he was protecting the boy because he believed they would kill the boy. And because he did that, and this was just the perfect excuse, the raid caught everybody so much on arrest. He hid this press machine in the shrine. So when the government came burning, they were looking for it to destroy it as well. Nobody knew where this press was coming out of, so it was top secret. So they managed to quickly hide it somewhere else. He was building a house at this time, so they quickly took it and hid it there. And they were still printing topics from there, and nobody knew.
Kalakuta Limited being a socialist enterprise, created free housing, free feeding, and then had the clinic. That's what most people don't talk about. The social aspect of what it means to be a Fela disciple, or if you love Fela and understand. Everything he had, he used it for his community. And they burnt everything down on that day, and the whole infrastructure and everything.
My wife's touch, skin to skin, my blood they hot. This is revolution. Purple people, we be beaten black and blue. Our backs broken, our wounds run rivulets of blood into pools of vomit. Corruption, betrayal. A soft bed for a hard back. Listen, you hear me? He who is free, no prison can bound. He who is free, mortality cannot constrain. No.
We hold her in very high esteem. In African tradition too, she's very old compared to us. So we were just like little urchins around her. Whenever she comes, Fela gave her total attention. She represented the spiritual and physical backbone.
She meant everything to him. He was proud of her, he loved her, he respected her. She was probably his role model as well. Basically everything.
The death of his mom really broke him. He psychologically depended on his mom a lot. You can hear the tone of his voice in the song where he said, "They killed my mama." That really broke him, seriously.
Probably gave him more determination. It was the first time he experienced death from somebody very close to him. I don't think when his father died, he felt this way. He was closer to his mother because of political ideas he started to share with her. This destabilized him a bit, but destabilization made him stronger in a sense. Politically, I think he really believed there would be an uprising. At the burning of his house, there were thousands of people watching the burning of the house. He had a megaphone and he was challenging the soldiers on that day. He really believed the people would revolt. He thought they would fight for him. And he was heartbroken then that nobody came in his defense. He really believed his music was motivating people towards a revolution, towards the latter part of his life. He was still very militant with his songs, but when you sat with him, he was very quiet. He became more spiritual, I would say. He gave every excuse or meaning. It was like very abstract. And if you were not close to him, probably you misunderstand many of his interpretations of many things.
And I think it's that collective consciousness that my dad was trying to tap into. And the final way to tap into it was, if you could shift the spiritual beliefs of black people, that they could become more African. That the loss of our spirituality was the loss of our identity. And it's true because, black people are just stuck in this black state, forgetting that all our teachers have told us that blackness is only a step. Integration is only a key, because as black people we are locked out from the world.
He wanted people to understand that Africans occupied Egypt, not the Arabs. Because we had read books, we were all convinced that the Egyptians in Egypt right now were not the people in Egypt. And when you go and you read about Keme and all these things, you know what happened. When you understand Hannibal and everything that went on, and the brainwashing that was going on in Africa in the TV and the programs. So he wanted people to understand. And even when he changed his name from Africa 70 to Egypt 80, a lot of people didn't like it because people were so much in love with Africa 70. So this took a long time.
My dad was really into African, he was the chief priest of the African shrine. What more can I say? He was a deep guy. He had great deductive capabilities because he used to make the most outrageous political predictions and they will all come to pass. And I believe that because he's also politically, gifted, he knows what's coming next.
Behold majesty, motherhood. Death is not silence. Listen carefully to the call of the womb that birthed you and the land that gave you your name. Fela, Fela, Fela.
None of us will ever tell you Fela was perfect, but he did create the greatest music that came out of here. We all grew up with this music, and it meant more to all of us as children than James Brown, Michael Jackson, Temptations, or anything. And the older we got, we understood why.
All my heroes are warrior spirits, people who are ready to die in battle, powerful, that undying spirit that he had. That's why the world is feeling him today. He wasn't just a normal human being. It will take another century before another Fela will come. So he was a very special spirit.
No matter how some people might feel about things Fela did, he's still loved for whatever reason. We can give you 1,000 things he did wrong, but then you understand he was human. We still feel obliged to defend him with our lives.
These hands are not mine.
I was raised to respect responsibility and understand duty. My father spent his life serving me. Most people don't understand when I say that because duty to your nation and service to your people is service to your children. Because you are doing everything in your power to live a better life in a better world. Many people here just raise their kids, they don't serve their kids. So they find it difficult to serve their country too. If I don't want people to trivialize my father's name, it's because there's nothing trivial about it. This love of Fela is only skin deep. Nobody really loves him. I grew up as his child, so I know. It was a stigma to be Fela's son. It wasn't like something people used to carry me around on their neck and give me free stuff. Just because the world loves him. Now, you don't want to look stupid, you have to act like you love him. You don't have anything in common with him. There was one day they beat my dad so bad at the top of our street. They were really trying to kill Fela. They were beating his head until he was like lifeless. They rushed him to the hospital, bandage on his head. That night we played at the shrine. So that's how rock and roll it was, Fela could never die after that day.
At the end of a life, the voice of the land remains. It takes form. Fire of Ogun, water of Oshun. It is the scar of a warrior's sigh after battle is won. The mist of blood The force of souls snatched from home. The taste of liquid iron. My father's father left me gifts. Red sun, red earth, and these eyes I see with. They took the body of my mother. They set me on fire. Rain, rage, thunder. Behold majesty, motherhood. Death is not silent. Listen carefully to the call of the womb that birthed you, and the land that gave you your name. Fela, Fela of doubt, Fela of cloth, cover me, white dog. My wife's touch, skin to skin, my blood they hot. This is revolution. Purple people, we been beaten black and blue. Our backs broken, our wounds run rivulets of blood into pools of vomit, corruption, betrayal. A soft bed for a hard back. Listen, will you hear me? He who is free, no prison can bound. He who is free, mortality cannot constrain. Hear me now, hear me well. Our message will not be stopped from spreading. Listen here. Listen now. Our message will not be stopped from spreading.